Hey, it's Joanne, Muse of the Tax Lien Lady, and we are live on Facebook. This is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where I get to answer your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds live on Facebook. So say hello when you come on and let me know where you're coming in from and bring your questions. Ask me your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds, and I'm happy to answer them. And if I don't have an answer, I will tell you. I will tell you, sometimes people ask me things that are outside of my area of expertise, and if I can, I'll tell you where to go to get the answer. And if this is helpful to you, share it. Share it on your Facebook page. Share it with your friends if this is helpful to you. So as you come in, just say hello so that I know who's here. And of course, I'm here to answer your questions about investing in tax liens or tax deeds. And and when Nicole gets here, she can tell me if we've had any questions ahead of time. I know I had somebody ask me about investing in New Jersey. They went to a tax sale in New Jersey and they saw that things were either bid down to zero or premium was being paid for liens, and they were wondering why this happens. And I will tell you, they thought that maybe the investors thought they were going to get the property. That's not why they do that. Once you have the tax lien in New Jersey, if the owner doesn't pay the subsequent taxes, you could pay the subsequent taxes and get the statutory rate, the maximum rate on your subpayments. Now, some of you might be saying, what are subsequent taxes? Well, when you go to a tax sale right now in New Jersey, most of the time, if it's a regular tax sale, they are selling last year's taxes that were due and not paid from 2021. Well, right now, there is almost a whole year of taxes that can be paid for 2022. Taxes in New Jersey are paid quarterly. The last quarter is paid in November. It's due November 1st. So the first 3 quarters can be paid 10 days after you get that tax lien certificate, or not 10 days after you get the tax certificate, but 10 days after the sale. After you buy that lien at the sale, you're able to pay the subsequent taxes if the owner hasn't paid them, because they're already late. Okay, they're already late for 3 quarters of taxes, and you get the maximum rate, the statutory rate on those payments. So that's why investors are willing not only to bid the certificate amount down to zero, but they're willing to pay premium for those liens. And they have it all figured out. They know just how much they're going to make if they hold that lien for a year and pay all the subsequent tax payments. Okay. Also, even though they're not going to get any interest on their certificate amount, because before premium is bid, that the interest rate is bid down to zero on the certificate amount only, okay? Not on the subsequent taxes that are being paid. But there's a penalty on that certificate amount. So even if you bid down the rate to zero and pay premium for the lien, you still get a penalty on the certificate amount as long as that amount is over $200. Anything from $200 to $5,000 has a 2% penalty. $5,000 to $10,000, a 4% penalty, and anything over $10,000, 6% penalty on the certificate amount. All right, so let me know who's here. Say hello when you come in. And Nicole, if you're here, let me know if we have any other questions from YouTube or from our Facebook group, our Investing for Success Facebook group. By the way, guys, we have a private group for tax lien investors called Investing for Success, and it's free to join. Just go to facebook.com/groups/investing for success. Okay. Or you could just search for the group Investing for Success. And I think I've seen another group with that name. So make sure you get our group. And there are questions that you have to answer before we let you in. It's free to join, but you just have to agree to the terms. Just that you're not going to be obscene, that you're going to be nice, and that you're not going to scam, by trying to sell something in our group. It's not for solicitation. It's just for tax lien investors to be able to ask questions, get answers, post things. Like if you have tax liens for sale, you could post them there. And things like that. So you just have to be interested in tax liens and tax deeds to join and agree to our terms. I think we have like 3 or 4 questions that you have to answer, and then we'll let you in to the group. Okay, it's pretty easy. All right. So okay, so we did have a question, and is it better to begin with liens or deeds? What state would be best for me to begin with? Do I need to register before purchasing the liens? And those are 3 different questions, okay, from somebody from New York. And is it better to begin with liens or deeds? Well, New York is a state that does both. So here is what I recommend. It depends on how much money you have and what your goals are, okay? If you want to own the property, you're better off with deeds, because tax liens are not a good way to get the property. 99% of tax liens across the country are going to redeem. Very seldom are you ever going to get to foreclose on a tax lien. Plus, it's going to take a couple years, and you're going to have to continue to pay the subsequent taxes until until you get to foreclose. And then you have to go through the foreclosure process. So it's not a good way to get property. So if you want to get property, then you're better off starting with deeds if you have enough money, because you need more money for deeds than for liens. All right, so that's the first question. The second question that I can't pronounce your first name. I'm sorry, but Youssef, I can pronounce that. I don't know if that's your surname or your first name, but what state would be best for you to begin with? I say begin in your own backyard. New York has deeds and liens, and it depends on where you live in New York. Most of New York are deeds. Okay, the counties all have deed sales except for Nassau County has a lien sale in February every year. It's online. I don't recommend it. You need a rather large budget for the Nassau County online sale. You need to have $50,000 for that sale. And if you have $50,000 to invest, I think you're better off going to the deed sales in New York State. As I mentioned, most of the counties sell deeds, but even in the counties that sell deeds, that have big county deed sales, the cities can do what they want. And some of those cities are going to have lien sales. They're not very well known. So that's a great way to start. And what you have to do is call the cities in those counties and find out what they do and when they do it. Okay. And the villages in Nassau County can also have their own sales, and in Suffolk County as well. Okay. And one more question. Do I need to register before purchasing the liens? And that depends on what sale you go to. Online sales, yes, you have to register ahead of time. The live sales, some of them you have to register. You have to register. You always have to register. But some of them allow you to register the day of the sale, right before the sale starts. And some of them you don't have to the really small lien sales. Some of them you don't have to register. You only register if you're the successful bidder, if you were able to buy something. But all the online sales, yes, you have to register, and you have to register in advance. Okay, and we have a question from Medi. what sites do we use to participate in the tax sales? Oh, that was a question from last time, from yesterday, from the Facebook, from the tax lien tip I did in the morning. By the way, guys, I do tax lien tips Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning at 9:30. And I usually don't answer questions during that time, but I did answer that question about what sites do the online tax sales. And in that particular tip, we were talking about New Jersey, and Real Auction does all the online sales for New Jersey, but there are various online platforms. There are a few of them. So it depends on what state you're investing in. And I do have a course, Buying Tax Liens Online course for investing online, that gives you all the online platforms and when these sales take place. And Nicole, if you could get the link for that course, for the Buying Tax Liens Online course. Now, I will also tell you, if you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, you get access to this course. Yearly members get the course immediately. And if you've just become a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, then you get access to Buying Tax Liens Online after 4 months of being a member. But you get right away, when you're a member, you get access to all the workshops that I do. And we've done a couple of online tax lien workshops. We did one this year, we did one last year, and I think we did one in 2020. Actually, I don't know if we did one last year, but we did one in 2020. We did one this year. So I'm always updating, and we use those to update the course. I'm always updating the Buying Tax Liens Online course. But if you're a member, you could look into those into the workshops, and I've updated that there. So Nicole has put in a couple of links for you in the comments. She's put in the link for our group, our Investing for Success group. And she's put in the link for the Buying Tax Liens Online course, if anybody is interested in the online training. Also, there's 2 other links I want you to put in there, Nicole, for people that want to find out more about becoming a member and having access to the workshops that we do and the courses that we do for free. So you could put in the link for the membership. And if anybody has questions about becoming a member or about coaching, anybody needs a mentor, a tax lien investing mentor, you could fill out the mentoring form that we have to see if you would qualify to be mentored by me. So we have 2 more links for you. One is for to find out about the membership, and Nicole has put that in there for you already. And then we'll have another link if you want to schedule a time to talk to me. So and that's it. So if there's no other questions, we're going to end early today if there's no other questions. Because I don't think I have any more announcements for you. Let's see. Okay, so Nicole has just put the link in for the mentoring application. If you're interested in having me mentor you, having me coach you, you have to have enough money to invest for this. It doesn't make sense to have somebody mentor you or coach you unless you have at least $10,000 to invest in tax liens or tax deeds. And of course, the more money you have, the better off you are. Yeah, and thank you for the reminder, Nicole. Black Friday is coming up, and we are working on a great deal for you, so stay tuned for that. We also have coming up in November a wealth building webinar and a tax sale success masterclass. So I'm getting tongue-tied. Stay tuned for that. Also, just keep your eye on your inbox. And also, I will be here 9:30 in the morning tomorrow and on Thursday. Last week, I had tax sales to go to on Wednesday and Thursday. So I wasn't here at 9:30. I actually came into Facebook Live earlier before I actually went to the tax sale, because these tax sales, the live tax sales that I go to, are usually at 10 a.m. And so I wanted to, I like to be there at least a half an hour before, which is the time that I normally do those Facebook Lives. So I needed to get in a little before, get in my Facebook Live before that. Okay. Yeah, so if you're not on our list, Nicole put a link in there for you that you can ask for a free special report called tax certificate sales investing. All right, and she's put in the link for you to sign up for that. When you sign up for that, you get on my list and you'll get all my emails. So you get all the information for those webinars. The wealth building webinar is, and these webinars, they're not next week, they're the week after that. The wealth building webinar will be on Wednesday, the second Wednesday of November. And our tax sale success masterclass will be on the second Thursday of November. And the wealth building webinars are free to come to live. If you want the replay of all and archives of all our wealth building webinars, it's only $49 a month. Okay. And we'll have more information for you next week. You'll be able to sign up for the webinar. Right now, we don't have the sign up yet for the wealth building webinar, because you do have to register. Even though it's free to come to live, you do have to register for that. And then the tax sale success masterclass, there will be a small fee for that, unless you are a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, and then you get into all our workshops for free. So Nicole, if we don't have anything else, if we don't have any other questions, and this is last call for questions, guys. So if you have a question for me, you could put it in the comments. And just let me know what state you're from so that I know the best way to answer your question. And I think we got all the questions that we had ahead of time. I think we answered all those questions, right? So if I missed anything, let me know, Nicole. And if we have any other questions, let me know. I don't see anything. I don't see any other questions. So I'll just give it another minute here. And again, 9:30 tomorrow will be tax lien investing tips right here on this Facebook page, and also 9:30 Thursday morning. And I'll have a quick tip for you. Okay, we've got a lot of them here on Facebook. And if you missed my From the Field last week, I did a couple of those tips from the field right before I went to tax sales. So if you missed those, you can watch them here on Facebook. All right, so I don't see any more questions coming in, and I don't think I have any more announcements for you guys. So I'm going to end this Facebook Live, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. Yes, it's early in the morning for you guys on the West Coast. All right, I'll see you then. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.